Hey everyone,
It's a podcast.
welcome to the Crabcast.
Crabcast.
Episode 4. I got sick at Comic-Con.
Yes, she did.
I have a terrible cold.
You never get sick.
I never get sick, so I must have touched some really rancid person's hand, is what I'm guessing.
That's gross.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, you sound really stuffed up.
I am really stuffed
When
up.
you like blow your nose, is it like
Yes.
toxic color?
Yes.
It's like Crabcat
Yes.
green.
Yes, it's like that green color,
That's
as you can
gross.
see behind us. And I feel like all swollen in here. But you know what? That's okay, because we did a lot of work this week. We delayed the podcast, but it was for the better, because you would have just been watching us sleep.
We would have been sleeping and crying.
And crying at the same time.
I think this was the most emotional Comic-Con for me.
It really was. It was kind of a nightmare.
It was pretty crazy. Partially for reasons that I feel like I can't talk about on here. Just in case
Sorry,
some
I'm
people
coughing.
watch it. Welcome to Holly's coughing hour.
Well, more or less,
I'm sorry, I would like a pillow.
All right. More or less, Comic-Con was just a... You know, we go to Comic-Con every year. This was our 9th year.
But I actually don't think it was our
It
ninth.
was.
And we've been saying that to people, and I
I think,
calculated
okay, maybe it's our 7th?
2005,
I can't count.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
That is 9.
But I don't... Alright, I guess it was.
She's like, well, I have this with fingers.
I thought it was our 8th.
This little piggy is 10.
You're right. I know. I'm
Anyway.
a stupid person.
No, you're not. It's fine. It could be our 8th. It doesn't matter. Regardless, we've been going to Comic-Con for quite a while, like when you can still buy the tickets at the door. And we told you about our playlist, which was very accurate for this year, I believe.
This year's theme was I threw it on the ground.
Yeah.
And that pretty much sums up my whole Comic-Con.
Yeah. We went to a bunch of parties, which
We did not go to a bunch of parties.
Well,
we
to
went
me,
to 2 parties.
That was a bunch of parties, and I am not a party person. I don't enjoy parties,
No,
and I
me
don't
neither.
enjoy going to parties, and I don't enjoy drinking at parties because that just makes me cry. So I just had a fake drink every party I went to, and we said hi to all the lovely people, and then we left after like an hour.
This is the Crabcat party way. This is what you do. If you know you have to make a good impression on people who are way more important than you when you get invited to their party, you go, you do a circle around the room, then you go and you get something to drink, preferably a Shirley Temple,
Yeah.
so that people think you're twee. Then you go and find a spot where you can see and be seen. Then you make sure to say hi or wave to the host, but never ever keep them occupied. You just have to be like, hey, I don't want to bother you. Or not bother you. It's not a bother to be said hi to. But you say something like, hey, I know you have like tons of people you need to say hi to and talk with, but we just wanted to say hi. Thanks for having us. And then you let them go on their way.
Yes.
You do not hold them up. You never ever want to be the person
To hold up the host.
Yeah. You don't want them to say goodbye before you say goodbye.
I would love for you to have an infographic of that, like family circus style with little dots.
With the like
Like,
running around.
running around, like, and then Jessica, like, see and be seen, and you're like, strike a pose.
And then like it's me in the next frame falling over a bicycle.
And crying.
Yeah. So you
And being like, Grandpa, where'd you go?
I
Dead
just imagine it ends with something like, Mommy, are golf courses cemeteries?
people. Yeah, that's pretty much how Comic-Con ended. But
Yeah, but no, you go to the party, you are seen and you be seen.
No,
and you see people.
if we had a Comic-Con party, it would not be like a party. Like, we would invite people over to just a bunch of beanbags with, like, places to charge DSs, and we would all just, like...
So you would have the Nintendo Lounge packs.
Yes, that's what our party would be.
The sumo bags and the DS stations.
Yeah, except for everyone would have to, like, wash their hands before they came to it. So everyone would have to wash their hands and then come in, but it'd also be a pool party, so everyone could hang out.
Wait, no, it would not be a pool party.
Well, there would be an option of jacuzzis.
No,
because this party would literally just be me by myself. Playing DS alone.
Every time we go to a hotel, Holly, like, immediately wants to go to the pool. And how many times have you gone to the pool?
Never, because we're always too busy. Every time I go, I'm like, I just want to go to the jacuzzi. I really just want to go and relax in the jacuzzi. But one time, I did it at PAX East, and it was just, like, the worst indoor pool, disgusting, like, nasty Bostonian indoor pool. And I was like, This is not what I expected.
Okay, so you go to a party, you arrive an hour after the party starts, because you never want to be the person who's the first person at the party. You arrive an hour into the party, you circle, you get your drink, your Shirley Temple, you don't drink more than that one drink, and then you say hi to the host, you say hi to a few people you know, you make sure you don't come alone, come with a friend. If they don't give you a +1, then I'm sorry, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And
pretty much.
Make friends with someone who will always be your +1, like me and Holly.
Yeah, if you don't get a +1 though, there's an easy way to quickly just speak to people at parties if you have to go. Just go and then just like find the person that's like least awkward, like someone at a bar, and just like say, "Oh, what are you drinking?" or something.
I can't give tips on how to meet people.
Right?
That just doesn't happen to me.
What do you... I haven't been I've actually never tried that because I don't talk to anyone.
I haven't been on a date in like 10 years. I have no idea what happens out in the social world.
Yeah, neither do I. But I feel like most people are pretty social at Comic-Con parties. I mean, they're all supposed to be nerds, right?
Well... So, make sure that you have...
Everyone's nerdy, right?
Make sure you have a friend. God, you just, like, steamroll my whole thing. I'm trying to teach people a lesson. Seen and be seen. Then... Wait, seen and be seen is the same thing. See and be seen. Then... you shouldn't stay at the party for longer than an hour. Unless, like, you're one of the popular people that everyone else wants to be there to see.
Which, knowing us, we were never the popular people.
We're not. So we stay for about an hour, then we leave. And you can't be the first people to leave because that's rude. But you certainly don't want to be the people who close out the bar.
No.
Unless it's, like, a party that is all your friends. Then you can close out the bar.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if BioWare had a party...
Yeah,
we would close at the bar.
Yeah, of course. But that's because, like, we know everyone. So it's not weird. It would be fun.
So we went to 2 parties. We did our shtick. And thankfully, no matter how much we hate each other, we know that we have to be together forever because
we don't hate each other. What are you talking about? Do you hate me and I don't know it?
I'm just saying that, like, 10 years in the future, even if we hate each other, we have to stay together because otherwise
I don't think
we won't have anyone to talk to at parties.
We're so forgetful and crazy, we can never hate each other.
But that was the party scene at Comic-Con, which was not, like, all of Comic-Con, because everyone else was like, hey, did you go to the Nerd HQ party? And I'm like, first of all, I was not invited to the Nerd HQ party. Second of all, even if I was invited, I'm not good at parties. Third of all, I don't want to talk about the rest of that sentence because it's awkward. But Comic-Con was fun. It was also emotional. I legitimately cried at the end. I think I was just so overwhelmed.
I'm just tired. Like, I just want to go to Comic-Con and just buy toys and stuff. And
I couldn't. Not this year.
I got a couple little owl figurines, and I saw Skip and Liz, who were great, and Skip gave me my birthday card, which was a 70s card, a Star Trek 70s card with Uhura on the front that said, what did it say? It said, like, have, like, a stellar birthday or something. But it was from the 70s. It was really cool.
I just want to
point out... It's nice to see good friends at Comic-Con. I'm just saying. It's nice to see cool people that aren't necessarily at all of the, like, networking parties. It's, like, nice to see people just wandering around the floor that you haven't seen in, like, a year.
I just want to point out that I didn't do my dishes, so we're drinking out of party cups.
Yes, that is what we're doing. I think that's the best part about Comic-Con is to just randomly see people you haven't seen in like a year, and it's nice to see them again.
I didn't really see any of those people because I was
you were working the whole time, yeah.
Or I was doing stuff with you, or I was awkwardly at parties, or I was trying to order room service, and they didn't even have cheesecake on the menu, so I never got my room service cheesecake. That was my out for everyone. I'd be like, good to see you. We're going to go get room service cheesecake. Oh, wait, it's not even on the menu, so now I'm a liar.
Sorry.
It was bad, but I don't know. I think it's just because we're no longer the starry-eyed fans who are going.
No, we saw how the hot dog was made.
Yeah, people recognize us enough that we're like, oh, we're like part of this world now. We're not like looking into it, but we're not part of the world enough that people are actually genuinely excited to see us that are like more important than us. They're just like, oh, hey, anyway, I see Will Wheaton back there. I'm going to go talk to him instead. And we're like, yeah, do that. Will Wheaton's way better than us anyway, because we're just sad sacks.
It's true.
It's got awkward.
It's true.
This was the vibe of Comic-Con.
Awkward?
She's just like awkward and tired and party cups.
Yeah.
Speaking of party cups, I bought these red party cups not because I'm trashy, but because we had a stabbing party this week.
We did have a stabbing party this week.
One of our friends, Hillary, who is like the cutest, most twee person ever, got stabbed in the neck by a knife.
Yeah, in a tree.
It was in a tree.
Came out of the tree and stabbed her.
She was doing a photo shoot or a film,
She
like
had a
some kind of
42-hour film festival thing.
And she stuck a knife into a tree, and she was trying to tap it so that it would like wobble.
Yeah.
And apparently she tapped it. It came out of the tree, spun around, and stabbed her in the neck. So she was in the hospital.
But she got out.
She got out.
And she had a bandage.
Then we had a party for her.
Because she got to take her bandage off.
Yeah. So we were like, hey, you get to take your bandage off. Let's have a party to celebrate and see if you have a crazy scar. So I bought all of the red things that I could at the store. And we had red velvet cake and a strawberry cake, which was delightful.
It was good.
And we saw Hillary take her bandage off, and there's a tiny scar. Small enough that it's not going to ruin her life. Big enough that
it looks like she has cred.
And she has
street
cred.
Yeah, she has street cred.
I think that's the coolest thing about...
Scars?
No. Well, yes.
Scars are awesome.
How many scars do you have?
I don't know. I have 2 big scars on my hand that I don't know what they're from.
Wait, what?
I don't know. I got them when I was at sea.
Whoa!
I don't know what they're from, though.
Did you ever have surgery?
No. I don't know what they're from. I literally don't know what they're from.
I have this scar. See that?
Yeah.
It's like a little fish hook scar.
Mm-hmm.
I had like some kind of tumor or something in my hand when I was a kid, and so I had to get it removed. Best sleep I ever got.
Yeah, I don't know what would cause scars. I mean, those are big scars. Like, I don't even know.
Are they like cat scratches?
No. I don't know where they came from.
That's like
I was abducted.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, they're like parallel.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from. I literally don't.
That's weird. How long have you known that you've had
I've had it since I was little. Like, really little.
Maybe it's a birthmark.
No, it's not. It's a scar. But I've had it since I was at least, like, 5-6 years old.
Aliens are real!
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. There's just like parallel lines on your hand.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what it's from.
I have a scar on my thigh from when I impaled myself with my Mickey Mouse train set. Okay.
I have a scar on my leg. I tried to kick my dad in the butt when I was a kid. When I was walking in a garden, and I like tripped, like fell on my face and scarred my knee up.
I was watching Superman with Terry Hatchett? Whatever, the lady from Desperate Housewives and Dean whatever. I was watching Superman, which was one of my favorite shows as a kid, and then basically in my mind the Superman franchise went downhill from there.
That's fair.
I think that was its highlight.
That's fair.
The apex of Superman. And then everyone's like, oh, this Superman film was so disappointing. And I'm like, of course it was. Why are you surprised? They've ruined the franchise.
Pretty much.
Anyway, so I was playing Superman, which in my life was like being on an armchair and balancing on my stomach on the corner of the armchair, and my Mickey Mouse train set was going around and around underneath.
Oh my God.
And I fell, and my leg impaled into the smokestack of the Mickey Mouse train set, and it kept going for a little while. And it impaled my leg through my leggings. And I remember my mother was mad at me, and she locked herself in her room because she needed to cool off. And I was supposed to leave her alone, so I was
you were bleeding everywhere?
I was like, it's like really deep. Look at this.
Yeah, that's a really deep scar.
Yeah, it's like, it like literally impaled. So I went upstairs and I was like, Mom, and she's like, Jessie, I told you to leave me alone. And I was like, Mom, I'm hurt, I think.
Oh my God.
And literally my leg is covered in blood, and I was like, I'm hurt, I think.
Oh my God.
And so she came out and she started screaming, and I thought she was still mad at me. So I was like, it's okay, I'll go down bandage.
Oh my God.
It was bad. But so I never ever wanted to wear shorts that you could see the scar, because apparently when you're a kid, scars are awful and
I guess
debilitating, and it was a very self-conscious point in my life until I realized that my knees were knobby, and then that's what I was self-conscious about.
I'm just worried that I was abducted.
God, at least that's cool. You'll never know.
I think
though.
I was just so young that I don't remember.
Oh my God, what if you're Mulder's sister? You're Samantha.
Oh my God.
He's been looking for you for years.
Mulder, you're off the case.
You're off the case.
Ugh. So yeah, there was a sneak preview for our show that comes out. It was 2 minutes long. You can actually see us.
Oh yeah. It's on.
And you can
YouTube.
watch it now. It's on YouTube.
And it's on iTunes. And it was one of those things where you had to put your credit card for like Google Wallet or something. And then literally I did it and it like messed up. And it was like, oh, you need to refresh your cache. And I was like, Google, you need to fix this. You need to sort yourself out before you try to offer this service.
But you guys should watch it. It's free. You can watch it. It's good. You can see Jessica and I. Jessica literally says hot mess at some point.
I do?
Which makes me super happy.
I say hot mess. I say,
going against her is insane.
Wait,
that is you.
Going up against her is insane.
Yeah, that's
how I say it.
Like, it's absolutely you.
It was. It's true.
Yeah.
I can't tell you who we went up against, but it was pretty insane.
I honestly don't even remember which one you were talking about.
Okay, it's the person that, like, absolutely is not, totally out of our league.
Yes.
It's like the hot girl in prom, and you're like, yeah, I'm absolutely not going to win prom queen.
No.
That fucking bitch is.
Yeah, we're never going to win.
It.
We're never going to win prom queen.
No.
But you guys should watch it. It's great. The show's going to be a lot of fun. I realized my hair looks awful.
So does mine. I had really brown hair.
My hair's like pink, and I just look like a country singer, so I'm sorry, everyone. There's
Whatever.
nothing we can do about it.
Whatever. That I am happy to say, at this point, not seeing the show is, if that's our biggest complaint, then that's great.
That's great.
I actually have to say, I understand that people don't like reality TV, but I just honestly don't have a problem with it.
No, I don't
think
care.
My problem with reality TV comes when someone chooses reality television over making great original concept shows.
Yeah.
I mean, that I definitely think takes precedent, but
no, I agree. I think that like original shows and really good content, I mean like Firefly or like Stargate or like awesome shows like that.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to but
it's
like I actually enjoy watching some reality TV. Like you were saying, like Duck Dynasty. Like,
oh my God, guys! I didn't think I would like this show. I was watching it in a hotel room, and it was like 4 a.m. because I couldn't sleep, and it was a good show. I was like, this is a great show. I feel like, and it's like Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Mythbusters is technically a reality show.
Yeah, but it's fun though, and they're like fun people, and I just want to watch like awesome people do fun things.
Yeah.
Like, or I want to watch Hoarders and make myself feel a little bit better about my life.
That is exactly why those shows exist.
Yeah.
Although I read a really strange article on XO Jane, which I don't know why has become like Facebook fills my newsfeed with articles from XO Jane, so I just read all of them. And one of them was like, they have this series called It Happened to Me, and so they had It Happened to Me, my parents were hoarders.
Oh my God.
And how they like lived in a hoarder house, and they said that they wish they had seen, cause, I mean, like all those shows, you're like, oh, it's just titillating, and it's just making someone's sad life a sensational thing. And I actually don't think that that's fair, because as this girl said in her It Happened to Me, my parents were hoarders, she was like, I really wish that shows like Hoarders had existed when I was a kid, because I wouldn't have felt so alone in my experience. I thought that I was the only one living like that.
I mean, look at how many hoarders there are. Like, there's even more than that. Those are just the people in the show. Literally, when I drive down the street and I see like people with like crap in their front yards, I'm like, that person's a hoarder.
Oh,
you know, like what's going on in the house.
No, there's the people who live across. I don't know why I'm whispering. The people who live across, like in. Like my house and then their house corner. And there's like our yards. So I can see into their backyard. When I'm on my toilet peeing,
oh yeah, those people, yes.
Yeah, I there's a window, and so I peer open the curtain in the window, and I always look. Every time I'm peeing, I'm like...
Well, it's what you... I mean,
or brushing my teeth. I'll sit on my toilet and brush my teeth.
If you're reading a book when you're peeing, like, that's just like you're entertaining yourself.
Yeah,
while you're
every
peeing.
single time, just to see what they're doing. Like, they
absolutely look like hoarders.
There's 5 piñatas in their tree. Why? Why do they need so many piñatas?
I looked over there the other day, and, like, every time they're, like, outside at night, like, under this, like, burnt tarp. Like, they, like, tried to barbecue under a tarp, and it, like, burned a hole in it. It looks insane.
Sometimes there's bird cages out there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, sometimes there's one time they had a TV out there and there was like 20 people watching television. I was like, what is going on? And then this is the best part. The second story of the house, there's 2 windows, like kind of the small windows that you have in bathrooms. One of them has bars on the window and one of them doesn't. And I'm like, why are there bars on only one window? In my mind, do you remember a few months ago when that guy found that girl who had like run out of a house and she was like, I've been kidnapped and I've been living here for 14 years with like my baby daughter or something, and this guy kidnapped me? I think that in that one room with the windows with the bars, that they're hiding someone there. I think they're keeping someone against their will. I don't know, but every time you hear those stories, there's always a neighbor who is like, I always thought it was a little bit weird, and I called the police, but nothing happened. So,
could be.
I don't know, maybe 20 years from now, I'll read about that house and be like, I should have called the police.
Hold on, guys, we're going to go investigate. And we turn the camera back on, and it's like, oh, it's okay, we found our crazy, like, wild child living in the barred up room. Ugh.
Yeah, but it's messed up. It's totally messed up. But I don't remember what we were talking about.
You were talking about hoarders and...
Oh, yeah. So, whatever. Those shows are good. I mean, in my childhood, I had to deal with a unreasonable amount of drug addicts in my life. So, I watched Intervention, and I was like, wow, apparently
crazy too.
Apparently drug addicts aren't just bad people. Like, I thought that, I mean, everyone in my life that was a drug addict was a bad person.
Same here. Yeah.
But But I was like, oh, okay, well, sometimes people just have addictions.
Sometimes they just have a hard life or addictions or something. Sometimes. But a lot of times they're also bad people. So. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
But yeah. So that's that. Comic-Con
was great. I think it was also terrible.
Yeah, it was great, but also terrible. It was fun. I get it. It was nice seeing everyone again, which I always enjoy.
Comic-Con,
there's too many people there, and whoever got me sick should absolutely feel bad about it, because I feel terrible. So you should feel bad.
Yeah, that was just not happy times.
No,
there was a point when someone absolutely handed us a baggie of pot cheeses.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know what to do.
I was like, this is inappropriate for Comic-Con, but...
And then in my head, I was like, we finally made it.
Yeah.
We're important enough that someone wants to give us drugs.
Yeah. Yep. Sure. We can give that to ourselves.
Yeah, that's how you can measure. How much drugs do people want to give you for free? Because everyone, when you were a kid, everyone was always like, say no to drugs. Don't let that random kid on the playground give you free drugs. And I'm like, people don't just give out free drugs. You don't get free drugs. No. I would be like, kids, spend your money on Lucas, Pelham Pelarico. Oh my God, Lucas. And, like, nasty Starburst from the super creepy guy he's probably not going to give you free drugs, though. He probably won't, because that would totally mess up the market.
Yeah.
Like, what would you just give people free stuff that cost you money? No, you wouldn't.
No.
I mean, I guess, like, there's probably a small percentage of people who get people that they know have money hooked on drugs because they know that later they can pay for it.
But I'm sure that's a totally different thing than pot, though. No one does it with pot. People do that with, like, heroin. Like,
I don't even know.
No one's going to be like, here's, like... Let's be honest, like, pot isn't even as bad as alcohol. Alcohol is worse than pot. Like, pot just makes you tired.
I don't know. I think pot does very weird things to lots of people.
Well, it does. It does.
But, like, still, people don't just, like, routinely give out free drugs. So I think that the DARE system and all of that stuff was doing everyone a disservice by making little kids think that at any point someone was just going to hand them some drugs and you had to figure out how to turn them down. Like, sure, at a party, someone might be like, here, take, like, whatever, but that's not even a big deal. What is a big deal is that I was on the playground and I was, like, so afraid that someone was going to offer me drugs. That someone was going to walk up and try to give me drugs and I wouldn't know what to say. No. And all I was taught is to run away and find a teacher.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, so...
How many times has that ever happened?
But I can just say that literally it made me so paranoid, and considering I, like, knew so many drug addicts in my family, that, like, I didn't even drink until I was 21, and in the United Kingdom, where it was legal for me to drink when I was 20.
I think 18, actually. Hmm? Well, it depends. Like,
no, 18, yeah, but, like...
16 for, like, shandy and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But, like... I was so afraid of all of that stuff that I never tried any of it because I was just so terrified.
Well, and now we're not
even now we're still afraid that someone could just walk in and be like, "Hey kids, you want some of this?" And we teacher. We just jump out the window and tell a teacher. Yeah.
I need a grown-up.
Yeah, we would just call a grown-up. We were just too friendly for those things.
But now we get handed free, basically something that if you just walked in and said you had a migraine, you could get. Yeah. But
oops, I have a migraine. Here, have this.
Have some medical marijuana, kids.
But I will just say for the record that pot just makes you tired. Like, it's useless. Like, it's the worst. So,
you don't like pot?
No, I mean, it's fine, but like...
Well, it's different kinds of pot do different things.
I guess that's true, but it's like, I
have my story.
Oh, your story is insane.
I don't think I can tell this story.
Your story's insane. We'll save it for a later podcast.
Yeah, okay, next week on the podcast, I will tell my crazy story about when I lived in Berkeley and tried drugs for the first time. Spoiler alert, it was marijuana.
Literally.
But I think it maybe was
your story was crazy. I mean, when I tried pot for the first time, I just wanted some Taco Bell. Like, it was not...
Oh, man.
Nothing exciting happened, but Jessica had, like, some kind of crazy adventure.
Should I just tell people now?
Yeah, just tell them whatever. It's fine.
So,
I'm gonna get my red cup full of lovely, healthy lemon water.
Yeah, it's lemon water, guys. I didn't know. Can they see this? I'm gonna pour
I don't know. Don't. It's just gonna pour in your lap. Anyway, we're not encouraging you. We're not encouraging you to try these things, but
no, please don't do this.
Please don't do drugs.
I am very lucky that
Jessica's very lucky that it turned out okay. Now, please tell your story.
Okay, so I was living in Berkeley, and that's the first part of this story that should tell you what happened. So I was living in Berkeley, and I remember I was going to the post office, and I had just taken my, like, senior portrait. So I guess at this point I'm, like, 21. I'm, like, 21 years old. Taking my senior portraits, and it's one of those things where, like, you always know people who, like, smoke pot and stuff, but I was always like, I don't know how to get pot. How would you even get pot? That's crazy.
I remember one time visiting a guy in college, and I, like, walked into his room, and I was like, why does this guy have so many big TVs and expensive stuff?
Oh, my God.
And he was a pot dealer out of the dorms.
Oh, I'm sure.
He was dealing pot out of the dorms at UC Santa Barbara, and I remember just being, like, he had, like, a DJ set, like, in his... I was just like, I don't even know what's going on. I went home and went back to playing World of Warcraft and forgot that I was ever there. So college is a crazy place.
Yeah, and this is of a time before, like, dispensaries were allowed to be out in the open.
That too. It was, like, way before.
It was, so this is back when... And this is when, if I wanted to drink something, maybe I was less than 21. If I wanted to drink something, I used to take the bottles of wine that were on tables when I used to work for like it wasn't a cake. I was a lighting and sound designer, and they would have events, and sometimes they would have banquets, and I would have to, like, man the soundboard, and I'd just be sitting there with a few other people, and it'd be like senators would come, and they'd have banquets and fundraising things, and then after it was over, me and the other techies, we would go steal all of the like bottles of wine that were opened that, like, were half drank. So then we would just get drunk off wine, which is why I still to this day can't drink wine, because it's just bad times. But that's not the story. So that's like my mindset. I had never dabbled in anything more destructive than just me drinking wine and passing out and totally not remembering my 19th birthday. And so I'm walking out of the post office, and I just gotten, like, my school photos taken, so I have this big bag of clothes, because you got to change out of them, and this guy walks up to me, like, dreads and a cowboy hat, and he basically looked like Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean out of costume. So he walks up to me, and he was pretty handsome, in a, like, super gross gutter punk way. I would never kiss him, but I would have been like, you're probably, if you brushed your teeth, you would be a good looking fella. So he comes up to me, and he's holding these glass pipes, the bubble pipes. He's holding them, and he's like, hey, $10 for a pipe. And I, thinking that I'm super fucking cool, I'm like, I don't have anything to use that with.
And the dare car is like watching you from around the corner, being like, Jessica, no, tell a teacher.
Yeah, and he's like, I can help you with that. And I'm like, yes, finally, I'm one of the cool kids who knows how to get drugs. So I'm like, okay. And so we walk like a mile away, and this is on Telegraph, which, if you know anything about Berkeley, Telegraph is where all of the, like, 19-year-old kids who run away from home and have money to dye their hair crazy colors but don't have money for food hang out. And it's like, you know, the remaining 5
That's hippies, a good
description, live there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So we're walking down Telegraph. If you've never heard of Telegraph, please just Google it. You'll thank me later. So we're walking down Telegraph. He goes into, like, this alleyway or something, and he comes back, which now I know was, like, some kind of dispensary. Or I don't, whatever. Anyway, so he gets some stuff, and he's like, okay, I've got this stuff. It's called Sour Diesel. It's really good. And I'm like, I don't know anything. Whatever. That looks crazy. And so then we walked into a forest. Like, we walked up the street into, like, this forest area, but it wasn't like secluded. We were sitting on a log, and you could see like the track from where I was sitting. And so it wasn't like Gone from Civilization. And so he teaches me how to use it, and he, like, puts the water in or whatever. And I remember I so did not know how to know. I was like, oh yeah, I've smoked before, whatever. And so he hands me the pipe before he, and he's like, okay, so
this is literally like one of the stories that the dare car tells you, except for it ends in, like, you getting killed.
You need to like make it bubble. And so, for some reason, I'm like, okay, I'm going to make a bubble. So I blow into it, and all of the pot and all of the, like, water, like, spills everywhere. And he's like, you've never smoked before. And I'm like, it's just been a while. And he's like, okay, you inhale, you do not blow into the pipe. So then he lights it, and he's like, can I smoke with you? And I'm like, whatever, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. So then, because I'm kind of a paranoid person in general, and because apparently
But you got this far, being as paranoid as you are.
This shit's really strong, and I know in the back of my head that, like, the drug dog is, like, telling me not to do this. So and when you're in kind of a paranoid state of mind, pot, like, kind of works with what your predisposed nature is already.
Yes, that is one of the reasons why I am not a big fan of that, because I have a lot of anxiety, and if you're an anxious person, it is not a good time.
So I'm smoking.
No.
We had 2 bowls, which like, that, I didn't know this, but that was like a designer strain, and it's super strong. So I'm tripping balls at this point. And maybe it was lace. I don't even know. So he's talking to me, and he's like, oh yeah, my band's playing on Saturday. Do you want to come see it? And in my head, I thought that I was thinking things, and I was like, oh my God, this guy, I just don't even trust him. And then I would think that in my head, and he would say something that was a response to what I was thinking in my head. And I was like, oh my God, he can read my mind. And I probably just, like, said it out loud, and I didn't even realize I was. But I would be like, oh my God, I don't trust this guy. And he'd be like, you can trust me. And I'm like, oh my God, he can read my mind. He's like, wouldn't it be cool if I could read your mind? And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And then I thought that the people running on the track were telling me to get away and escape.
Oh my God.
And so then I did. I literally just started running, and I left my purse and all of my belongings, and I just ran out of the woods back onto the street. And then I black out for a second, and then I forget that I ever smoked. I forget that I smoked pot. I forget that I was getting high. I don't know where I am anymore because I blacked out for like a second. And so at this point, I think I've died. and that I'm in purgatory, and I'm walking down this street, and I'm feeling the walls of like the retainer wall, and I'm like, it's so bumpy.
Oh my god.
I feel so many things. This is crazy. Am I in hell?
Oh my god.
And I feel like imagine one of those like Photoshop features where everything's like a vignette. That's like my vision at this point. Everything was like blurred, a vignette. And this guy was walking up the street as I was walking down, and I was just feeling everything. So I just like started feeling him. I literally, and that's what he did too. Of course, I was just like, and then I just like ran into him, and he ran away. Oh my God. And then I'm walking, and I'm like, I don't know, did I die in a car crash? How did I die? And I guess I should just keep walking toward the light, which was the sun setting, and I was just walking toward it. And then I feel in my back pocket, and someone's calling me. And then that's when I snap out of it, and I'm like, holy fuck, I was high. Oh my God, I was smoking. Where's my purse? Oh my God. So then I just sit on the side of the road and try to like figure out how to get my bearings because I'm still incredibly high. The guy eventually found me, and he was on the phone with one of his friends, and he was like, oh, I found her. And I was like, okay, well, he has my stuff, so he must not be bad. So then I got into his car.
Oh my God.
And he drove me home. But before he drove me home, we got Top Dog, which was a hot dog thing in Berkeley, and
did he buy you the Top Dog? Or
yeah, he did. He was very nice.
He was really sorry that he got you so high.
Yeah, he was. And then my boyfriend called me, and he thought, and I was just like, don't worry, I'm in the car with this guy that I met. And so he thinks I've been kidnapped and that I just can't say what is going on. And so he called the police, but I was okay. And then I was like, please, I'm okay. And that was what happened the first time I tried to buy pot.
Yeah, don't do drugs, kids.
Just don't. Or if you do, don't buy it off strangers off the street.
If you do, don't do it with strangers. Because that's a bad time.
Yeah.
Good story, Jessica.
I'm sorry that it rambled on so long. Okay. I felt like there were a lot of details that I needed to convey.
Well, I'm glad that your college experience was so colorful.
It was.
It's good.
It was.
Good.
You, like, the first time you got drunk was on a gravestone in Scotland.
Yeah, so, well, the first time I got drunk was on absinthe with, I lived in Scotland, and it was my birthday, and I had a bunch of friends that were in the weird, like, Beltane Fire Festival circle that I, like, hung out with, and so we went to John Knox's scribe's grave in a medieval graveyard, and the bar we went to was called the Jekyll and Hyde, and it was this awesome, like, crazy bar with like a bookcase that you open to go to the bathroom. This is Scotland. That's just what Scotland's like. It's just amazing and insane. And then we went and had little like Mr. Kipling's cakes on John Knox's grave, which was really fun. Poor John Knox. It wasn't John Knox. It was John Knox's scribe, so it wasn't John Knox himself.
Okay.
But you know, good on you, John Knox's scribe. It was good times. That graveyard was amazing, though. It was a medieval graveyard. It was so cool. It was great.
Next time on the Crabcast, we'll share some stories from our times living abroad.
Oh, that sounds fun. Yeah, you've got some good ones from that, too.
Oh, man. Most of them involve substances.
Well, mine involve naked body paint, so I guess we both got some pretty decent ones.
Tune in next time for the Crabcast. Did you like the format? We've shortened it up a little so that we feel like
bite-sized.
It's a bite-sized podcast.
Yeah, and if there's anything you want us to talk about, make sure to put it in the comments below. Or
put it in the comments below.
Or make sure to tweet at us.
Tweet at us.
Holly Conrad.
At Jessica Marizin. Also, this podcast is now available on iTunes, so you can download it and listen to it in your car. We have a libsyn and an RSS feed, so we've literally splattered ourselves all over the internet.
So if you like this, you can listen to it in literally every format or watch us talk about it. And eventually we'll have better audio, but I just keep forgetting my computer.
Whatever.
I'm sorry.
Tell your friends. Crabcast. Jazz hands.